What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. So we got a little special video here today. We are going to be reviewing beef cup-o noodle. Now, I know you're probably wondering, Sophia, what is that all over your face? Well, I have this little look here to celebrate, you know, just Euphoria and Euphoria Season 3 coming out. So congratulations to everybody who was involved in making that show, and RIP to Eric Dane and Angus Cloud. Let's get going. This is what we have for today. We have just the original, you know, cup of noodle beef, you know, cosplaying as Maddie, I presume. It's the microwave version with the paper cup, so it doesn't like melt in the microwave. And let's go ahead and view these instructions. So the instructions state that you fill up the water to the fill line and you put it in the microwave for 2:15. Now, we all know from my past videos, I ain't gonna put it in for 2:15. I'm putting in for more of that. And it's gonna be good, so let's go ahead and get to the overview. Alright, so if you guessed that the holder today was gonna be paper towels, congratulations, you win the competition. So, like I said, we have cup of noodles here today. It's gonna be pretty tasty, I believe. I'm a big fan of cup of noodle, but it's more of a ramen that you have to add things into in order for it to reach its fullest potential. Obviously, I don't have a lot. So we're sticking with the original here, and let's get on with the montage. Accidentally added too much water. I know, pretty horrible. But, you know, we're just gonna have to deal with it. It's still gonna be a good time. So let's continue. I have now official chopsticks for this YouTube channel. We have some reindeer kitty chopsticks, and unfortunately, guys, I know how to use chopsticks. These are just free ones that I got from a sushi house I went to today. So, you know what I mean? It's gonna be good. But these are probably gonna be the trademark for the channel from now on. If you want to get it tattooed, just DM me and I'll let you know if that's okay. But let's go ahead and put it in the microwave. Alright, now I accidentally spilled some on my thigh, so I think the issue with the overfill of water might actually be solved with that mistake. But let's go ahead and put it in the microwave. Two minutes and 30 seconds, and we'll add some more if we need. Let's go ahead and transition to when the ramen is cooked and ready to eat. Welcome back, you guys. So ramen is done. I let it sit out for a little bit because it was so hot when it first came out. Let me just say these chopsticks are really hard to use. God damn. But anyway, this is what it looks like. There is a lot of broth, and you know, unfortunately for a commenter on a past video, I apologize, I hate broth. So, you know, we're just gonna maybe drink it. I mean, it is beef cup of noodles, so I don't even know how good the broth is gonna be. Hoping it's okay. But I'm not expecting much, so I'm probably expecting to throw this out. The texture is pretty good, I would say. I like that it holds together well. If you want to take a big bite, you most definitely can. So that's definitely a little bit of a good score. I did spill a little bit, but whatevs. YOLO. But yeah, so on the first look, I would say I'm pretty excited for this. My dorm doesn't even really smell like anything. But you know, that can definitely change when it's in my mouth. Okay, we're back. Maddie's back, I should say. So, you know, it's looking pretty good, like I said in the overhead review. But I guess, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. Might be horrible. So let's go ahead and put it in my mouth. Let's go. Alright guys, I'm taking off this lipstick. God damn. Ah. It's really affecting my ability to eat this ramen. I don't want to disappoint you guys. So I had to take that out. Anyways, let's continue. gums are making my eyeballs itch. I don't know how it... You guys, this will ruin everything. We're safe. Drink of the day, Mountain Dew Code Red. Reminds me of home. Specifically my aunt's house. Shout out to my cousins. That's good. This would taste really good with some sriracha. I actually might put some on. Let me tell you guys a story before I take this bite. So, I one time went to a friend's house and I was really, really hungry, you know, and I was gonna eat dinner there, but they, you know, they didn't want to prepare dinner, they were too busy, so they were like, oh my god, Sophia, like, do you want some, like, beef cup of noodle? And I said, I never had it. And they were like, well, you know, it's, like, fine, but, you know, we can make them for you. And I said, okay. So they made me this exact same cup of noodle. And I was like, can I have a little something? And they went, yeah, what do you want? And I said, can I have some cheese on it? And they went, that's a little weird, but we don't have a lot of cheese. Are you okay with any cheese? And I said, yeah. And so they put just a slab of American cheese on there and microwaved it and gave it to me. So it was just ramen, and there was just this orange square of American cheese just sitting on top of the beef cup of noodle. And I almost vomited. It was one of the most horrifying sights I think I've ever seen in my life. It was horrible. Let's continue. Last bite. Alright, so first we're going to be starting with the noodle, then the broth, and then everything mixed together. So first let's start with the noodles. As we all saw, you know, the noodles were pretty silky and everything like that, which was really, really nice. I liked that you could kind of clump the noodles together. I thought that that was pretty fantastic. Of the noodles, like I said, I thought also the taste was pretty good. Like, I could taste the gluten, and I love the taste of the gluten. So with all of that being said, I'm gonna have to give the noodles probably around an 8.5. I think the noodles are pretty good. They're a little too basic, a little too standard, but I loved the taste and I love the individuality. All right, now let's go into point number 2. So we're gonna be talking about the broth here. Now the broth, this one is where a lot of ramen reviews get it wrong, is the broth. And the broth is the most important part. A lot of broth is involved with this. Pretty good if you're sick, I would say. It was extremely, extremely bland. There was really not much going on with this. It was just very, like, nothing. I mean, like, seriously, even the Shin Ramen, which is probably the lowest rated ramen I have on this channel, was better than this broth. It was just boring. Let's rewind here. I had to insert sriracha into this broth, okay, to even make it taste decent. With all that being said, you know, I have a lot of criticisms for this broth specifically, but I'm gonna have to give it 4.3. Not the best, obviously. I mean, just so boring. Now let's go on with point number 3. So point number 3 that I have here is just everything overall. And this is basically just the final score. So it's a combination of the noodles and the broth. I mean, like, it's boring. I have a lot of broth left, which I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. But yeah, not good. Not good. Noodles were definitely the strongest point of this ramen bowl, of this piece. The broth, however, was not my favorite. I think if we're trying to consider the whole piece, you know what I mean? We cannot just judge it with, you know, the noodles and then also the broth individually. It's all about the taste combined. And when you combined the noodles with the broth, it didn't really end up tasting that good. But I loved when you would just get a fistful of noodles in your mouth and stuff them in and there was just no flavor on them, because that was honestly better than the broth. So considering those 2 points, the strong noodles, but you know, the pretty lackluster broth, I'm gonna have to give the overall review of this piece 7.8. I mean, it's a basic ramen. I mean, it's if you're just like, wow, I want a really cheap, decent bowl of, you know, cup of noodle for cheap, I would say you should go for this one if you're really, really, like, in need of something, but it's a nothing burger. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I hope you had a good time. I hope my review really helped you understand the art of ramen. I'm gonna go ahead and watch Euphoria Season 3. Goodbye.